dan lainnya dapat menggunakan replacement cost method. Dan yang terakhir, nilai ekonomi yang hilang dari kerusakan sarana dan prasarana wisata terkait. The economic value is lost from the damage of related tourism facilities and infrastructure. Itu menggunakan replacement cost method. Berikut dalam analisis contoh penilaian dalam kasus tumpahan minyak dapat menggunakan yang pertama untuk tahun 2009 sampai dengan pada tahun 2009 khususnya pada kasus Montara yang pertama menggunakan dengan ledakan sumber kilang minyak di Selat Timur yang berjarak 209 km dari Pulau Rote di Nusa Tenggara Timur. Yang kedua, pelaku PTT Exploration dan Production Company PTT EP Australia. Yang ketiga, tumpahan minyak mentah menyebar ke wilayah seluas 92 km persegi dan merusak pesisir di 13 kabupaten dan kota di Nusa Tenggara Timur, NTT, serta menghancurkan kehidupan nelayan serta petani rumput laut. Berikut kerusakan lingkungan utamanya terjadi pada mangrove seluas 700 hektar, padang lamun seluas 1.400 hektar, dan terumbu karang seluas 1.200 hektar. 5. Pemerintah Republik Indonesia sudah menghitung total kerugian sebesar 27,4 triliun yang terdiri dari biaya kerusakan lingkungan sebesar 23 triliun dan biaya pemulihan sebesar 4,4 triliun. Tantangan dalam pengajuan klaim ganti kerugian. Yang pertama, kejadian tumpahan minyak biasanya berlangsung di laut. Yang kedua, penanganan tumpahan minyak biasanya dilakukan secara cepat. Ketiga, data sumber daya kelautan dan perikanan belum akurat. 4. Kurangnya data awal atas sumber daya kelautan dan perikanan. 5. Belum pernah dilakukan kajian atas nilai ekonomi sumber daya secara komprehensif pada setiap wilayah. Kendala evaluasi ekonomi ini. Kendala evaluasi ekonomi sumber daya kelautan dan perikanan kasus Montara. Yang pertama, kendala yang dihadapi oleh pemerintah Indonesia dalam menggunakan evaluasi ekonomi terletak pada ketersediaan dasar. Hal ini menyebabkan sukarnya menghitung perubahan manfaat barang dan jasa yang dihasilkan oleh ekosistem. Dampak lanjutan yang ditimbulkan adalah lemahnya materi gugatan kerugian. Yang kedua, kejadian yang terjadi pada tahun 2009 tersebut masih belum menemukan kata sepakat sampai saat ini. Bahkan proses negosiasi melalui jalur non-litigasi juga mengalami jalan buntu atau deadlock. Yang ketiga, berdasarkan situs resmi PTTEP bahkan menyatakan tidak ada minyak dari kilang Montara yang masuk wilayah daratan Republik Indonesia, sehingga tidak berdampak atau sangat kecil dampaknya terhadap kerusakan ekosistem pesisir dan laut. Belajar dari insiden Montara dan kerumitan klaim ganti kerugian atas insiden tersebut, maka pemerintah Provinsi Nusa Tenggara Timur membentuk tim penanggulangan pencemaran dan kerusakan lingkungan laut. Itu berdasarkan keputusan Gubernur Nusa Tenggara Timur nomor 260/Kep/HK/2021. Tugas daripada tim ini adalah mengambil langkah-langkah konkret sebagai upaya penanggulangan pencemaran dan kerusakan lingkungan laut di wilayah perairan Provinsi Nusa Tenggara Timur. Kegiatan tim penanggulangan pencemaran dan kerusakan lingkungan laut telah melakukan yang pertama melakukan pelatihan model tumpahan minyak di laut. Itu sudah dilaksanakan pada bulan Juni tahun 2022. Yang kedua, menginisiasi pendanaan penanggulangan insiden tumpahan minyak di laut telah dilaksanakan pada bulan September tahun 2022. Penyusunan dan menguji coba panduan sistem peringatan dini dan respon tumpahan minyak telah dilakukan pada bulan Agustus tahun 2022. Penyusunan dan menguji coba panduan monitoring dan sampling tumpahan minyak di laut telah dilaksanakan pada bulan November tahun 2022. Dan yang berikut, penyiapan pelatihan teknik penilaian dan pembersihan garis pantai serta menyiapkan konsep pusat pelaporan kejadian tumpahan minyak di laut itu masih dalam tahap perencanaan. Mungkin ini saja materi dari kami. Sekian dan terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, salve. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan selamat siang.
Thank you, Ibu Sulastri. Somebody is going to translate. I think Pak
Ondy
Yoga,
Siagian.
imagine.
Sabar.
Maybe we can do some key points translation of Ibu Sulastri's presentation. I think we can do that. We have maybe another 5 minutes to do that. Anybody? No?
Yes, Sharina, I'm still looking for the confirmation.
Okay. I think what I'll do is while you're sorting it out, I will just invite Pui Huang to on her video for while I'm aware that there was a question for her earlier. Then maybe we can address that first while we are waiting for the key translation. Okay, Pui Huang, I think I'll address the question for you first. So there was somebody who was asking about tier classification, how to classify and decide a tier 1, 2, 3 of oil spill.
Yes, yeah. So I think tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 is a concept. Tier concept is, I think in general, tier 1 is the local resources. Tier 2 is the regional or national resources. Tier 3 is looking to expand that you will need international resources in this to handle the oil spill incidents. So I think it's looking at different capabilities. I would say that in tier 1 is always the local resource. We talk about whether your organizations have the equipment or the trained personnel that can handle the oil spill scenarios. So examples, maybe a lot of, I think for the ports and terminals will be a docking at the berth site. Then if there is a pipeline leakage or there's these locations from the pipes to the vessels, are you able to contain the oil at the jetty itself? So do you actually boom or those oil spill equipments like the booms to boom around the vessels to contain the oil within? Then you have skimmers or dispersants to help to say recover or to disperse the oil into the water columns in offshore. So in shoreline, I would say that dispersant is not there. The options to go for. So pardon me for that. So dispersant can be used for at least the water depth around 20 meters and more, so that I think the oil can be dispersed into the water column. But in this aspect is that for the tier 1 resources, do your own company has the resources to handle the oil spill at your site? So if not, then you want to expand to the tier 2. So tier 2 will be looking into the regional or national resources. So as I mentioned, if it's like your countries, do you have actually tier 2 organizations or oil spill organizations that can you pull in I think the resources into. So I think the Thailand have IESG, the Korea have OEMs, in Malaysia got PMAC, Indonesia got OSCTs. So all these will help you to like, are you able to call upon them to tap on their resources? And then second, if you have like different organizations in these, like maybe like the Greater Sunrise, they actually have different operators in their regions for the offshore activities. Do you actually have one mutual aid, I would say agreements, to tap on each other resources when there is an oil spill incidents? So rather than like tier 1 is your organization, so tier 2 you want to expand to regional or to the national resources, where your neighbors can help you, or they can actually loan you, or you have an agreement that we can actually share the resources in the event of oil spill. So I think it's more efficient and more effective in managing the response. After which, you know that because it's continuous, maybe it's a well blow out, and you know that it will go on for days, and you are not able to hold it anymore, even within the, I would say that the clusters of organizations in the region, then you want to seek for international help. Like example, OSRA is actually a tier 3 organizations. So what makes us so special is also because of our aerial dispersal capabilities, which is the C-130 in these regions, or even the B-727s in the UK, so that we can actually do more aerial dispersal applications within a short, I would say not short hours, I think within at least for the wide area of coverage for dispersal application, I think option wise. So tier 3 will be utilizing, I think, international resources. So OSRA is one of them. Or you can see even like the wildlife organizations that you can actually tap on, is like others, experts from other countries that actually can come into the regions to help out or to advise accordingly, because maybe on this region do not have wildlife experts. Then we can actually call upon I think international wildlife expert organizations in to help in this I would say handling of the oil wildlife response. So all these can be arranged that. So it's built on the tier concept, so that you want to utilize the tier 1 first, then you expand to tier 2 and tier 3. So it will be a proper kind of, I would say that notification and escalation procedures to be in place that you want to consider in your OSCPs. Yeah, I hope that it answers the questions. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Hui Hang. I think that was a rather comprehensive answer. I'll just check in with Tatiana or anyone else from ATSEA if there's anything else that you would like to add on to Ibu Sulastri's presentation.
Sharina, I think Mas Kaifin, we will translate for Ibu Sulastri. Please, Mr.
Okay,
Mas
sure, go
Kaifin.
ahead.
Please, Mr. Kaifin.
Maybe if we can get some key points out of what her presentation was about, that would be helpful.
I will unmute him. Wait.
Yes, thank you, sharing. So I will summary the presentation of Ibu Sulastri. So Nusa Tenggara Province facing threat from oil spill, both from transportation and exploration activities. Based on Montara incident in 2009, that is Nusa Tenggara Province government find some difficulties to claim about environmental loss and livelihood loss. They form a team to manage pollution and damage marine pollution and damage. So is Nusa Tenggara Province government from team to manage marine pollution and damage. So this team main responsibility is to make a concrete step in facing marine pollution and environmental damage. And the activities that this team has been done is doing training on oil spill simulation, and this team also developed a guideline in early warning system, and has been consulted in the Rotendao district. And also this team developed a guideline in monitoring and sampling for oil spill in the sea, and it has been has been trying with the member of this team, and also the team plan to make a training on shoreline cleanup and assessment technique, and also plan to form a hotline center to report oil spill incident. So that's the Ibu Lastri presentation. Back to sharing.
Okay, thank you, Kaifin, for the quick summary. And do we have any questions for Ibu Lastri's presentation from the floor? If you do have, then you can just unmute and ask directly.
Oke, Ibu Lastri, sudah oke yang saya sampaikan tadi?
Okay, then I think with that, thank you so much to all our resource speakers for your insights on the topics. To our audience and participants, another reminder for you to complete and submit the attendance and feedback form. So the link to the form was already previously shared in the chat box. Okay, and with that, we would like to close out the webinar with a few key points. So ATSEA has kindly shared a few key points for this closeout. So the Arafura and Timor Seas is what we know as the ATS region. It has many resources. I think that was already covered in Ibu Lastri's presentation. So we're talking about oil and gas reserves. So naturally then there are many oil concessions that are present in the region, with some that have already been developed and some that are still in the planning process. And because of that, the region itself is very prone to oil spill incidents. And marine pollution needs to be addressed accordingly. So oil spill, especially, it needs specific skill sets, and then it needs specialized resources to address. And oil spill handling will be much easier if the ATS countries actually work together. So from the assessment conducted by ATSEA last year, the 4 ATSEA countries, they have various levels of preparedness with regards to oil spill, with Australia being one of the most advanced one. Okay, so therefore, together with OSRL, ATSEA 2 actually has been conducting these quarterly webinars throughout the year, with the main objective to build awareness and knowledge of possible oil spill incidents and how to prepare and respond accordingly. And with these, the hope was that, it will help ATSEA countries to understand the extent of the issues and also to encourage regional cooperation in the future. Okay. Finally, so all good things come to an end. So on behalf of ATSEA 2, we would like to share our gratitude to all the resource speakers who have shared their knowledge, have shared their experience, in the various webinars that we have conducted this year. And also to you participants who have attended our webinars. So please feel free to visit www.oilspillresponse.com or www.atsea-program.com for recording of the webinars. So if you'd like to catch up previous webinars, feel free to log on to these websites. Okay, and with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time and participation in this webinar. Until we meet again, stay safe and well. Good afternoon, everyone.